Kenny is my favorite character in The Walking Dead, not because he's always right, not because I always agree
Yes.
with him, but because Kenny is Kenny. He's not a hero. He's not a villain. He doesn't fit neatly into any box. He's raw, emotional, and
Raw.
unpredictable,
Sorry.
sometimes brutally so. And that's what makes him one of the
Raw,
most compelling and polarizing characters in the entire series. Some people see Kenny as reckless, stubborn, even dangerous. Others see him.
How you feel about Kenny, Jose?
So he's your favorite because he's human.
I mean, that's
I like him.
definitely
I
saying.
like him. I fuck with Kenny.
Yeah, I mess with Kenny too. The only, I mean, he is a crash out. Kenny is probably the biggest crash out. That nigga's a crash out. But I mean, besides that, I mean, I mess with Kenny. Like, if niggas don't pick Kenny in season 2, I low key think bad about you. No cap. Why would you go with Jane, bro? Come on, you just made that bet.
Not gonna lie, I made that decision.
You went
My
with
first
Jane?
time playing.
You with Jane?
Yeah,
Nah, I went with
it
Kenny.
was my first time playing, bro.
Cause like,
Can't
bro,
even lie.
I felt like they tried to make what was that nigga name that died in ice? Luke. I think they tried to make Luke like that, but then when they realized that like Luke is not that like polarizing as Jane, they switched. I feel like if I would have saw Jane at the beginning of season 2, I would have like leaned more towards Jane. But I met her in the middle of episode 2. Like I was really like, and then she left like 2 times, nigga. Like I don't know. It was kind of
Yeah, I
difficult for
know.
me to vibe with her like that.
I messed up the first time because I was watching somebody play and then they picked Jane, so I was like, oh yeah, let me pick Jane. Nah, I should not have done that.
Yeah, I think Kenny. I
First of all, I
mean,
saw play the game
there is an
and
option
then picked Jane.
to kill both of them. Like when you let Kenny kill Jane, you can shoot Kenny, and I seen niggas do that too.
Oh yeah, I seen that too. I don't know why.
Cause Clementine can have her
Never
own
do
like
that.
that.
Exactly. She needs some kind of guidance.
I know exactly. That's why. Yeah.
Crazy that she's only like 12 years old. She has to make all these fucking decisions.
That's why, bro. Season 2 is so annoying me because, like, bro, season 2 they make you do all this stuff. Like, you saw that meme video of niggas asking Clementine what to do. I think I reposted it, bro, because that's all it was doing. Like, yo, Clementine, go do this, Clementine, do this, Clementine, do this. Like, bruh, y'all are
I
grown
know, bro.
adults. I am a teenager, and I gotta do everything. I understand it's a game, but like, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's a game, I should be able to do everything. Like,
Yeah, they probably just try to make it more immersive, but like still, she's a kid. Can't be
that's what,
doing all this shit.
that's what I'm saying, bro. But I mean, I mess with Kenny. Kenny's straight. Kenny's straight, but nobody understands the nigga. I want to see what nigga gonna say, cause I understand the nigga a little bit.
Him
Pause.
as the ultimate protector, flawed but fiercely loyal. The truth? He's both. And that's what makes him feel real. Kenny doesn't care about being liked. He has his own convictions, and if you get in his way, he'll let you know. If you love him, it's because you stood by him. If you hate him, it's because he turned that
Wee.
same defiance back on you. But
The real
Kenny
goat
isn't
right
just
there.
a static character. He evolves, shaped by tragedy, loss, and survival. To truly understand him, we need to go back to where it all began, before the pain, before the rage, back when he was just a father, fighting to keep his family alive. Let's start at the beginning.
Family man.
She's a
What's
family
the
man.
first thing Kenny talks about when we meet him? His family. The first two
Why was her
major
head missing like that?
decisions of the game, both about his
No idea.
son, Duck. From the start, it's clear. Kenny is a man with a singular focus.
I
Protecting
hated Lily's
his
dad.
own.
That nigga was so
You're either a
annoying.
part of that group or you're not. In my Season 1 essay, I described Kenny as a mirror to Lee, and that remains absolutely true. Like Lee, Kenny does what he believes is right, whether you agree with him or not. Dropping a brick on Larry's head, he sees it as a necessary evil, letting a bitten girl suffer in the street, so the group can gather supplies. In his mind, ensuring his family's survival comes first. I once argued that Kenny is what Lee could become if he lost Clementine, and while that's true, it's not the whole truth. Kenny is always a mirror to Lee. Early on, he reflects a version of Lee who is willing to harden, to make ruthless decisions for the sake of survival. That's why Larry's death occurs just before Lee is faced with a similar choice to execute or
I actually agree. I never. I mean, that. Yeah, I kind of agree with him. Like, no cap. I kind of agree with that nigga.
Yeah.
It's
I
it's
mean,
it's
when I played as Lee, I always tried not to kill anybody. So
better than me. Well, yeah, well, true. The only thing I let slide was when Kenny threw that brick on that nigga. That was funny. And it also like, bro, the nigga was about to die. I didn't like the nigga, so honestly, I didn't care. But I was like, Kenny, you should like discuss everybody before you just done it. Cause that nigga picked up that brick and threw it at that nigga. He picked that bit up. I ain't know Kenny had that much strength.
yeah, I fucked up a lot of choices with Kenny.
Bro, I did it. That's the problem. The problem was like I didn't mess up with Kenny. I don't think I did, but at the end, the nigga was like, I felt like if that was Doug, you want to help me out. I was like, what, Kenny? What? I was the only time I wasn't on your side was at the end when he wanted me to do something. He wanted me to do something at the end I didn't agree with. But besides that, I was messing with Kenny. Maybe it was that nigga that snitched on us. Maybe because of that situation. That's probably what it was. Ben, that nigga.
I always pick like the logical choices. So like every time I pick like some choice that went against Kenny's morals, yeah. And most of the time, all them choices went against Kenny's morals.
Yeah,
Besides
because
like killing and other shit.
because he wanted to kill Ben and I didn't let him do it because he
Yeah.
wanted Ben to fall from the skylight, but I helped him out, and he was mad at me for that. He was mad at me for that.
Yeah, but even if you did it, he still was mad. Like,
Yeah, oh, he was. I know that.
yes. Because I let Ben fall one time, like, just to see what would happen. I let him fall. He was still mad at you. Or he was like, he was disgusted at you or some shit. It was like a facial expression he made. Like,
Because he
damn,
want,
we.
but he wanted to leave the nigga
Exactly.
when his idiot that nigga such an idiot when he took the hatchet off the door, such a, oh my god, when he did that.
Yeah.
And then the zombies coming in, I don't know why Ben wanted to tell Kenny then he literally was the reason why. I don't know why he wanted to say that, but whatever. When Ben told nigga that, Kenny wanted to leave him. But I said, Kenny, we can't do this right now, my nigga would like get him mauled by zombies. What, Lee? You don't want to kill him right now? Like that was where I agreed with him because like, bruh, we're in the situation right now, we can't just leave the nigga right now. We gotta get out of this situation first. So
Yeah, I think he was just like really pissed. And then when he came back to like full realization, he's like, damn, why did we kill him?
I mean he
That's
ended up
probably
dying
what it
anyway,
was.
so he ended up dying anyway then.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
really
know.
didn't care. I didn't mind Ben. I mean, he did mess up with the, the nigga Lily
No,
was the reason
no
why we
fuck
almost
no.
got our. Oh my god! Like, what was the that nigga was so idiot? He got my girl Carly dead because of that because he want to be an idiot. Like, oh my god, yeah, that nigga Ben.
Yeah. Sorry though. He's a real character. He's
Yeah, I know. I understand. He was scared. He was trying to do what he thought was good as a teenager. So I understand that a little bit. But it's the fact, like, I saw no development for that nigga. Like, bruh, come on, man. Come on,
yeah, he was
man.
like he was scared the whole
He
game.
did no, he did push back on Kenny. He said, Kenny, stop talking to me like that. He did clap back at Kenny that one time. I was kind of impressed. But after that, that was it.
He did.
Spare the St. John brothers. Later,
I didn't
however,
kill him.
Kenny becomes a reflection of what Lee could
I
be
didn't
if
either.
he lost everything. A man stripped of purpose, spiraling without direction. This is what makes Kenny one of the best written characters in The Walking Dead. Unlike most, he isn't just a side character reacting to your choices. He makes his own. It's up to you to decide whether he's right or wrong. But he doesn't care either way. While others are figuring out how to survive, Kenny has already made peace with doing whatever it takes. His moral ambiguity is so well crafted that you can go an entire season disagreeing with him or align with him completely. Yet the most important character in Kenny's arc isn't Lee, it's Ben.
Oh yeah, that nigga.
Ben will do it.
What happens when a man willing to do anything for his family has that very identity ripped away? Not by walkers, not by bad luck, but by a reckless, naive teenager. A teenager whose mistakes didn't just cost his wife and son, but left Kenny with nothing. The answer is simple. You get a man unraveling. Kenny, once defined by his devotion to family, begins to lose sight of his morals. He urges you to drop Ben to his death, a moment that epitomizes his descent. But doing so forfeits his most powerful moment, his final sacrifice. A sacrifice not for family, not even for a close friend who's agreed with him, but for the very person who destroyed his world. It's the most anti-Kenny decision imaginable, and yet it's the one that defines him. The same applies to his potential sacrifice for Krista, but Ben's
Jose, how you feel about niggas getting mad at Wait, when you played Lee, did you chop his arm or you let him keep it?
I chopped it off.
How you feel about niggas saying that Lee? How did niggas? I've seen niggas be mad because they feel like that the game kind of forces Lee to die because they chopped off his arm, and when other niggas it happened to, they survive, but for some reason Lee didn't. How you feel about that?
Wait, what?
In the game, like later on in the game, it's season 4. Season 4, when Clementine gets her leg chopped off, she was going through longer than Lee. And she was still survive. So I'm saying niggas are kind of mad because they feel like Lee should have survived because it wasn't that long for him to have his arms cut off and then him, in his dying situation.
I mean, honestly, when he went to that crowd of walkers, he did get bit. So either way, he's kind of fucked. I mean, yeah, I could see the point, but like, either way, he's kind of fucked.
I mean, I just feel like I feel like he didn't care. Like when he was big, he was sick with it, so he didn't care. But I feel like him dying like really defined the series for real because like I mean it was season 1's amazing, but when Lee died and you're Clementine and you got to choose between well I killed the nigga, if you let him live I hate you, but if when I killed the nigga it made me feels like for Clementine like that's insane. Like it just felt like that defined the game for me. So I didn't mind the nigga dying. I wish he did it, because it would have been fire to see him with Clementine, but it is what it is.
I know, bro. But damn, I mean that final scene was really emotional.
I know the first time because I watched it when my dad played it. The first time I seen it, I was like, "Yo, like what's going on?" So when I played it for the first time, I almost cried. I had tears in my eyes because I with Lee.
I did cry. I want somebody else play
Lee is my favorite. Lee my in that whole show. Lee is my favorite main character. Besides Clementine season 4. Clementine season 4 is a demon. Besides Clementine, Lee is definitely right there because Javier straight, but I feel like we should have a little more time with him. Javier straight, but Lee is amazing, bro.
Bro, don't diss my goat Javi like that.
Oh my god, nigga, Javier got banned from baseball, nigga. That's your goat. Banned from baseball, nigga, for betting. That's your nigga.
Good. That's my goat. Yeah.
Good.
Javi fire.
Nigga back doing his brother and stole his wife, nigga. Come on, man.
Bro, his brother was a.
I know. I'm just showing you with that. I know. I don't care about that. Plus, his brother wanted to leave. He was going to leave his family. And so,
exactly.
Javier, take care of niggas for me. What? Nigga, that's your family. Why do I got to take care of them? I told that nigga straight up. Nigga, that is your responsibility. He got all pissy at me. Nigga, sit yourself down, nigga. That is your family.
Javi the
That is
goat.
your responsibility. Javi's not the goat. Stop doing that.
Version feels far more canonical to his character. It represents the ultimate evolution of Kenny, the final stage of his transformation. By the end of season 1, we've witnessed the constant unraveling and reshaping of Kenny. His identity shifts, his choices change, but through it all, he remains part of your group. Every decision he makes in his mind is for the good of the group, no matter how brutal or inhumane. Yet, in his final act, Kenny finally stops sacrificing others and chooses to sacrifice himself. For the first time since losing his family, Kenny stops fighting. He stops resisting fate. He doesn't try to control the outcome. Instead, he makes peace with it. And more than that, it serves as a final lesson to Lee that sacrificing yourself for someone is the right thing
This
to
part
do.
was sad
Once
too, bro.
again, Kenny's major turning points parallel Lee's. His first kill is just before
You said what?
Lee's. His sacrifice
That
comes
part when we
just
thought
before
Kenny
Lee's.
died
I thought
In
nigga
the
was
end,
dead.
too. That shit
both
was
men,
disgusting.
defined by their need to protect, face their final moments
I'm surprised.
as failed
Hey,
protectors.
I
And
thought nigga
yet,
was
their
cooked.
failures aren't meaningless. In
Also,
both
too.
cases, you have no control over Kenny, just as he has no control over you. But his journey serves as both a message
But yeah, I
and a
like
mirror,
the fact that Kenny do what he
reflecting
want
what
to do
Lee
because
could become.
I be tired
Ultimately,
of that sometimes, bro. Like sometimes like the way that niggas such like they look like little dogs to me. Like I define everything you do. Like dang, my nigga, don't do this on your own. Kenny's a W. Nigga do what he want to do. He don't give a fuck what you say. Nigga do what he want to do.
Exactly.
Kid does not care. That nigga do what he wants to do. You agree with me? You agree with me, Lee? Okay, nigga. Okay, whatever. You agree with me, Clementine? Come on, Clementine. Okay, that nigga does not care. What is the mark?
it's Kenny's final act that pushes Lee to embrace his role as the hero, to walk through the horde and save
Hero.
Clementine.
Hero, there.
And that's it, right? Case closed. Kenny dies as a hero, a final reflection of Lee. Well, we all know he comes back. So let's discuss Kenny, not as the family man, but as the wounded warrior.
Wounded warrior.
Hey.
Kenny
should be dead. A lot of people don't realize this,
Aw.
but he originally had death sounds in the
Version. I did
That sounds. Version of Kenny dying in season 1. I did 105 scenes on the roof where he falls into the hole. Save Krista.
He used to get bit there and really go down swinging. I had a real complex.
Oh yeah, that's not that bad.
I would not mind it.
game's files. You can
I would
actually
okay
hear a
season two.
piece during the Krista sacrifice. There is no logical way he survived. Kenny
Yeah, he should have.
100% died in that alleyway, saving Ben. How did Kenny make it out? He didn't. Telltale pulled him back from the void.
Yeah, he should have
Regardless, the Kenny we see in Season 2 is, in my opinion, a Lee who failed to save Clementine, but somehow survived. He's still the caring protector we knew, but now he's consumed by trauma, burdened by a desperate fear of loss, wondering why he isn't the one being
I
mourned
hated
instead.
that. I hated that. I hated how that nigga blamed me for your wife dying. That was annoying because it wasn't even my fault. It was that little girl who started screaming because her dad. That was annoying, bro. I forgot her name. I left her in that RV. I forgot her name. I left her in the RV though. The daughter, but what's her name? Bro? I left her in the RV because she was being annoying, and she was the reason why Kenny's wife died. And then even if you chopped her arm off or not, he would get mad at you, be all pissy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey,
I
nigga,
don't know her name.
I don't know her name either. I don't know. She was annoying. I left her to die, so I don't know.
He's still a mirror to Lee, just a Lee whose story diverged ever so slightly. The problem with Season 2's Kenny is that we don't get much time with him before he's thrown into more suffering. He's still the same stubborn, headstrong figure we either love or hate, always planning a way out even when the odds are hopeless. But we never see much of him in moments of peace. The game pushes the idea that Kenny is slowly losing it, using his socially awkward jokes as evidence. But that's always been Kenny. He's always said stupid things, lest we forget the urban incident. Everything he does at the ski lodge, from his out-of-place humour to his abrasiveness with Nick, is completely in character. Yet the game keeps testing us, subtly trying to make us see him in a different light. It's not until he calls Clementine Duck that we see a different side of him. He stops. He goes quiet, The implication is clear. Everything before that was just Kenny. But this is Kenny still haunted by his family's loss. Being reunited with Clementine only makes him realize he still has something to lose. Sarita and now Clementine. His association between Clem and Duck isn't proof of insanity. It's proof that he still sees himself as a protector and the innocent as his responsibility. His entire arc leads to his obsession with Alvin Jr. Kenny is still a family man, but one without a family. I truly believe they could have done so much more with this version of Kenny. The best possible ending for him comes from letting him take Clementine to Wellington, fulfilling his arc of protecting someone he sees as family. But the turning point happens at Carver's compound, when Kenny covers for Clementine and gets beaten to hell. That's when everything changes. And no, it's not this beating or even Carver's death that breaks him. What truly sends Kenny over the edge is something often overlooked. While he was exacting revenge on Carver, Sarita was left unprotected and died. Many don't catch this because Kenny initially blames Clementine, but when he's alone, you can hear him blaming himself.
Sarita, wherever you are, please forgive me. I can't be alone again.
In his eyes, the family man failed again. This eats away at him. When he describes being beaten to death as peaceful, it's not just grief, it's self-doubt. He no longer trusts himself to protect the people he loves. That's his entire arc, and he keeps failing, no matter how hard he tries. This is when Kenny adopts what Jane later calls the wounded warrior mentality. He snaps, not because he wants to, but because he refuses to let anything happen to Clementine and AJ. Not just death, anything. One of his most controversial moments is beating Arvo.
No. That Mike Tyson, I hate you, nigga. I don't that nigga. Nah, nigga. Mike Tyson, nah, bro. Just randomly one night, you gonna start having all kissy with Arvo, and y'all about to leave in the van and stuff. Nah, I hate Mike Tyson, bro. He was a W man until all of a sudden he just started being weird. Nigga started. Nah, I hate Mike Tyson, bro. I don't like Mike Tyson. That's the nigga name, bro. I don't like Mike Tyson. I don't know why.
I hate Mike Tyson.
I mean, Kenny did go overboard with Arvo, but like, bro, depending on the situation, he got either Luke or Luke and Bonnie killed. I got both of them killed. I don't want to talk about it. So like, bro, like, the nigga got 2 niggas killed. He also put us in a shootout. Like, I mean, he was going over with Arvo, but I'm not gonna protect him. Like Mike Tyson, like wants to have sex with that nigga. Like I don't understand what's going on with that nigga. I'm not lying, but that was annoying.
Call him Mike Tyson.
That's the nigga name, bro. Mike Tyson, bro. Every time I put it on the channel, I call a nigga Mike Tyson.
Reasons behind it are often overlooked. Arvo's actions directly led to Luke's death and put Clementine in danger, 2 of Kenny's biggest triggers. Then, when the house turns out to have nothing but cans of chili, AJ's survival is at risk. To people like Mike and Bonnie, it's easy to judge Kenny. They have no real obligations. Later, they even steal from Clementine and AJ before shooting Clem. But Kenny is under immense pressure. Keeping a newborn baby alive is entirely on him, and his deepest fears, losing yet another family, are being replayed right in front of him. By the end of the story, Kenny has been acting as a leader for so long that everyone's criticisms of him are pushed onto the player. Look at how bad and unhinged Kenny is. But these same arguments could be made about Lee. Look at how bad and unhinged Lee is. He threatened a group of cancer survivors, stole from someone's car, killed the incapacitated St. John's, let Ben fall to his death. And it's the stranger who decides, based on these actions, that Lee is unfit for Clementine. But we know
I never did that.
The whole truth.
I never did that. I always saved Lee.
I was about to say that. I didn't do none of that. The only thing I did...
I never did any of that shit.
Yeah, but I said I didn't even threaten the cancer survivors. I was nice to them. I didn't let Ben die. I didn't kill the St. John's niggas. You know, they deserved it. I didn't kill them. And they hacking up some of the throat. So, like, I ain't doing anything. So I don't know why. don't really
I
talk
didn't
about,
either,
bro.
bro. I gave Lee his redemption.
Oh God, I mean Lee murdered a nigga over, his wife banging somebody else. And nigga's wife went on bang, but got mad. So I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Like I wasn't really mad about that. Like I was being cool with Lee. I was being a cool nigga with Lee. Lee was a cool nigga.
Exactly. I never killed anybody.
The only thing
Literally.
I did was I stole that. Hey, I stole that stuff. I stole that stuff. But like, bro, like that I could justify. Like, come on, you leaving your supplies out in the open like that? Come on, Yankee. Like this is
I didn't steal
survival.
the stuff.
I did. I did. I would do that
I
in real
didn't.
life.
And Kenny got pissed at me.
Pause. Kenny got mad.
Yeah, he got pissed at me.
Yeah, I know, cause he was like, come on, it's survival. And I agree, it's survival, gang. Like you, and then when the stranger tried to explain, I'm like, bro, you're telling me that car had gas in it and you left it out in the open like that, unlocked? That's your fault. I told nigga that was his fault too in the game, cause like, bro, you blaming me for what? That's your fault. Your stuff is gone. Nigga said Clementine with my daughter's jacket. Yeah, she was cold. She ain't cold no more. Huh? Your daughter dead.
The same way the criticisms of Kenny by the Season 2 group are not the whole truth. It's easy to criticize from the outside. Anyone making the hard choices can be painted as unhinged, crazy, or morally corrupt. And all of this builds to the final choice,
Oh, God.
Kenny's fate. When Jane hides AJ to make it seem like he's dead, Kenny snaps. Once again, someone Kenny dislikes, like Ben, has become responsible for the loss, or apparent loss, of someone he desperately tried to protect. Jane provokes him on purpose, telling Clementine to stay out of it. By the end, Kenny is about to kill Jane in cold blood. Will you shoot him or look away? You can end his story right here, killing him to save Jane's life. If you want my opinion, I never shoot Kenny. Not just because he's the best protector figure in Season 2, but because he's the only one willing to step up and make tough calls. Remember in Season 1, when I said that Kenny will do what needs to be done, whether Lee liked it or not? That's exactly what a protector should be. He hasn't lost his ability to be the hero, like when he saved Ben or Krista. No one else in Season 2 would take an ambiguous punishment from a dictator to protect Clementine. That's just a fact. So I look away.
I mean,
Not
Carver
because I
is.
think Kenny is entirely sane or right. I always tell him he's becoming dangerous, that he needs to think before he acts. But ultimately, I stick with him, because in the end, he's still the only one who takes Clementine somewhere safe. And once again, in his final act, Kenny exhibits his defining trait, self-sacrifice. He urges Clem to stay at Wellington, while he walks away, finally completing his journey.
I don't know what happened to my goat, man.
I think he died. Pretty sure.
I ain't a Kenny DLC. Come on, Skybound.
I've never understood the argument that Kenny isn't a good protector or that he's too broken. Aside from Lee, he's the only protector in the franchise who never gives up on Clementine. He makes his own decisions, forms his own opinions, and isn't afraid to disagree when necessary. Qualities that define a strong leader. That's why you can play Season 1 either loving or hating him. He's one of the few characters, again aside from Lee and maybe Lily for a short time, who takes matters into his own hands. In Season 2, no one truly measures up to Kenny. He possesses both the determination and willingness to raise not just a child, but a baby. Luke and Jane are the closest contenders, yet both fall short. Even those who dislike Kenny would likely agree. If one character had to walk through a horde to save Clementine, like Lee did, it would be him. Discussions about Kenny often revolve around comparisons to Luke and Jane, because their criticisms are frequently echoed in essays and forums. But here's the thing, if Kenny is the only leader, of course he'll be criticized. Until someone else steps up with an actual plan instead of just pointing fingers, those criticisms ring hollow. Everything said about Kenny in Season 2 could just as easily be said about Lee, depending on the player's choices. Ultimately, Kenny serves as a mirror of Lee throughout the series. First, he's a protector with conflicting views. Then he becomes a tragic reflection of loss, what Lee might have turned into if he'd lost Clementine. Later, he embodies self-sacrifice, sacrifice. And when he returns, he's the Lee that lost everything but kept moving forward. Not perfect, not irredeemable, just a man doing what he believes is right. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe.
No, Kenny.
Lily is tragically misunderstood.
Okay.
Hey, no cap. Hold up. No.